Gary Gregg here, talking about another fabulous palm. Okay, we're in my Lafayette garden and I planted a Brahea Clara probably about 15 years ago from about yay big in a 24-inch box. Well, look at it now. It's huge, it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. I want to tell you a little bit about this palm. Brahea Clara is a lot like Brahea armata, okay? That's the blue palm from Baja. That ranges all the way up into northern Baja. Now, Brahea Clara, they're still arguing whether this is a Brahea armata variation or not. But this palm is found not on the Baja Peninsula, but rather on the continental side of the Baja Bay. So anyway, what's different about this tree from Brahea armata, which you might be more familiar with, is the size of the foliage. It's absolutely huge. It's probably 4 feet across, maybe 4 feet long, really big, okay? You'll see some beautiful coloration. If you get under here and look at the coloration we have underneath the frond. Isn't that the most gorgeous thing you've ever seen? It also has a much longer petiole. This is the petiole of a palm. This petiole is probably 6 feet long. So the spread on this tree is probably something like about 14 feet, 15 feet. That's a lot bigger than Brahea armata, okay? And the other thing we have here that's different is it's a little looser, a little more tropical looking. It has more of a droop to the foliage. Now, typically, Brahea Clara is not going to be as blue as a blue palm, but both of these plants are variable. So this is a particularly blue version of Brahea Clara. We'll walk over and see a Brahea armata that's really, really white, and it's way whiter than this. So if you want a big punch of white color, you got to go with a really well-colored Brahea armata, something tight, something more formal, Brahea armata. But if you want something big and lush, you probably want to go with this guy. Take a look at how fat the trunk is. This is an exceptionally fat trunk tree. So they're normally not this big, but you can see how big I am. I'm not a little guy. And we probably have about 3 foot trunk diameter here on this plant. It has a beautiful pattern of cut foliage on the trunk of the tree. And what's really cool, you're gonna have to sneak back here with me. Come on, don't be afraid. Look at what we have here. My tree is sexually mature. Whee! We're gonna have a quinceañera party. It's about 15 years old. So it's coming out, it's gonna be the coming out party. I'm gonna get seed from this very tree. And this tree here is an absolute stud. So that is gonna be fantastic. And we'll be growing this one from here. I also wanna show you a little bit of foliage contrast between a really good combination you can use of bougainvillea right next to this tree. This is a little bit of an accident in the sense that, whatever, I didn't really think about this when I did it. But look at the beautiful contrast between the silvery foliage of the Brahea Clara and the gorgeous bougainvillea. This is a bougainvillea that has really big leaves. I have another video on YouTube about this particular cultivar. It has the largest leaf of any bougainvillea. It's really cold tolerant, and it's got my favorite color of purple. So that's where I'm gonna leave you, Brahea Clara. But I wanna show you one example of Brahea armata over here, just so you can see how blue one of these armatas is. And it's over here. And it's not even that bright of a lighting day. The sun is kind of muted. There's a little bit of haze in the sky. But if you stand right here and you look at my Brahea armata and you hold the camera really high so it contrasts against the oak backdrop, you'll see how blue this can be. This is much bluer than Brahea Clara. These will always be bluer, but you can see it's more stiff. It's very different, okay? This is the more common blue palm that most people are familiar with. Brahea Clara really didn't come along until about 20 years ago. And that's the whole story. Come on down and buy one.